I'm joined here today by the one, the only. It is, of course, Cameroon's own Tafon Nchukwi. What's going on, sir? How are you?
Hey man, I'm chilling, doing good, doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing well, man. Thanks for asking. Something I'm curious about for you, man. I mentioned off the top, Cameroon's own, but is it kind of bittersweet for you seeing that there is a champion from Cameroon? Like, not a lot of MMA fighters do the thing from Cameroon, and then like you see the one guy and he gets to the championship first. Is there a part of you that's a little bit like, damn,
I mean, I can't say I didn't want to be the first, but
all
I can't
right?
be like say it's I can't really say that I'm mad at it at all. I'm super excited for it because hey, as a fellow Cameroonian who's out there doing his thing and he's actually definitely shining light on our people, so it's super exciting and I'm very happy for him for sure. Ain't
Did,
nothing more to that really.
we weren't expecting like
Yeah.
an Nate Diaz, Francis, you're taking everything I work for. I didn't,
Nah, he
didn't
worked.
think
He
so.
worked. He worked hard to get there. So hey, he definitely deserved what he got. So that's all it is.
Did you see a change in like the way sort of the support you got from Cameroon since that thing? So for a lot of people, sometimes it takes one champion from one country to sort of get everybody excited. Did you notice the difference after he became champion?
For him,
No, for you, like, did you notice like more Cameroon fans coming up to you saying things to you? Like, did you notice sort of a difference for you?
not really much of a difference. I mean, I've always had like a pretty good Cameroon amount of support from Cameroon. Um, but nothing really changed. I mean, more people got more aware of me too. I'm guessing that's also because of him because that was like a super big thing right there. So I definitely did get a lot more fans. But I've always had like a pretty big support from my people. Yeah.
Well, that's good to hear, man. Before we get into your fight and all that stuff that's coming up in like 3 months, right now we've
hmm
got the European Championships going on. Are you a soccer fan at all or a football fan, whatever people want to call it?
Actually, yeah, I am a football fan, but I just haven't kept up with it for a while now, so I can't really speak much on it. I used to be super big into it, but not during the recent years.
So to
Kind
put you
of.
on the spot, man, like if I had to say, like if there was a rooting interest for one country out there, the European countries, would there be one that would have your support?
Uh, uh, yeah, I'm really on the spot. I don't really know who's in there right now, so I can't really say.
I would say, as a Frenchman myself, like I could invite
hmm
you over to our fan base, like just recruit people best we
I,
can.
since I'm talking to you right now, I guess I'm gonna go with the French people. That's who I'm rooting for. You know,
Exactly.
you guys put a hand out through you, Mr. Lucas, and I'm saying, okay, I'm with you guys. Y'all gonna take it all the way.
And to be fair, because everybody needs like the one, like why would I? One of our
Yeah.
best players does have a father from Cameroon, so just throwing it out
Oh,
there, like you need a little extra something
see,
something to
there
go
you
along
go.
with it.
See that? Now I'm definitely all the way in. I'm sold. I'm definitely sold now. Y'all got my full backing.
There we go, man. Let's talk about this fight with Mike Rodriguez. It got announced when I looked at the date. I was like September. That's that feels like it's in forever. What sort of happened
Yeah.
for it to get announced so like early? I guess.
I'm not really sure, but for me, once I got the contract, I'm like, let's get it. I was actually looking to try to get in there a lot sooner. So once they gave it to me, I was like, yeah, let's get right, let's get with it. But for it being announced so early, I really don't know like what's going on in the background with all of that. But hey, maybe they're just getting ready to promote it a little bit. So who knows? My return to 205. So I'm looking forward to it.
So why return at 205? I know like last time I talked to you was before the UFC. You were saying you were getting
hmm
down 205, 185, stuff like that. Why'd you choose to go back to 205?
I just feel it'll be better for right now, at least till I'm able to get right with my discipline and all of that, so I don't have to make such a drastic cut to 185. This I feel like will be a way better move for right now till I'm able to get that discipline down all the way to where I'm not cutting too much weight to get there, so I can perform at my best. Really,
And it must feel pretty good to just be able to eat food again. Like I'm sure that diet
hey
was
man,
ice cubes and water. Like now you can actually eat some real food. Like it must feel pretty good.
hell yeah, man. I'm out here smiling every day. Just out here enjoying my enjoying my life, not having to think too much. And the best part about it, really, it's like I'm gonna be able to go through a camp more so worried about like getting skill development instead of focusing more on like making weight. So it's gonna be a lot of time of just developing my skills and just enjoying the whole process instead of like just strictly worrying about making weight throughout the whole time. which isn't really good. And I mean, that's all. It's been like that because it's my fault, so I can't really blame anybody for that. Um, so just taking my time, work on my discipline, get right with myself, and then yeah, get back in there.
So what's going on training camp wise for this one? Because 3 months out, like I don't know what's sort of typical for you in sort of training camp length, but has your camp even started for this one?
The way we train anyway, we're always ready for anything anyway. So I never really did stop. Really, after the last fight, I only really took off lightly, like for a week. So right now that I'm like completely uh stitch free, I've been in there working like I'm training for camp. So I'm really gonna be training full throttle till that fight comes through. So yeah.
And so when you saw that Mike Rodriguez was the next opponent, did you give any thought to it? Like, was that someone you were familiar with? What you kind of think when you saw, like, all right, that's the next opponent?
Honestly, not really, because I didn't really know the name till like after I got it. Once I got it, I was like, yeah, signed it, sent it, and I haven't really watched much on him yet. I mean, he's still so far out, so I haven't really gotten to watch his fights as much yet. But I do remember his Contender Series fights. He looked pretty impressive in there. So yeah, it's gonna be a good one.
And so I want to talk a little bit about your last fight, man. Unfortunately, things didn't go your way. It was your first career loss as a professional. What do you just take away from that experience, looking back at it now?
It's a lot to take away, man. This is like I said before, there's a lot of things I got to get right with myself, just so that once I get in there, I can perform at the best. And there's not really much else to be said, but I was bested by the Iron Turtle on that day. I mean, when I'm ready to get back in the 185 division, we're definitely gonna meet again, and we're gonna have a better. I'm gonna have a better showing that time. So, and it's a lot of other things too, which I took away from that, just because the whole process and a lot of things I learned. But that's more on a personal standpoint.
And so there are different ways people react when they do take their first career loss. Like we have, the two dramatic ones, like Ronda Rousey. I was glad to see you weren't hiding your face in a pillow at an airport and stuff like that. Where was your
Yeah.
headspace after that fight? Because I assume, it's a very difficult experience.
I mean, like the first like moments walking out of the octagon. I mean, it was kind of like super hard having to deal with all that. But I always think that I always go back to is like having like a great support system around me, like my coaches, friends, family. I mean, everybody they called me, talked to me. Just give me in the right headspace. So it wasn't really too much in that down state where I was like kind of beating myself up for everything that didn't go right the way I wanted it to go. It's just right back on the mindset of, man, you know what, stuff happens, you live, you learn, sometimes you lose, sometimes you win. It's just like life, you know. You got beat you either you choose to learn from it and then get better, or you just put your head down and then just keep going on the down spiral. And I chose to just keep my head up and keep moving forward. That's
So how tight of a team do you have over there with I see you train with guys like Sadiq Yusuf, Peter Pettis, for example. We saw he had a fight. It seems like you guys have like a really tight team over there. What's that atmosphere like training with all those guys?
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. I mean, having people, everyone around who has a pretty mindset of a winner is always good to have that around you. So like you can't help but have pretty close relationships with everybody. So we're pretty tight, and we all have the same type of goals, and we're all going to trying to get to where we want to get to, and we're all helping each other do that. So it's good to have that type of support around you.
And so I have to ask, when you do these interviews, like obviously your name, like when people see it for the first time, it's a little bit intimidating. Not gonna lie to you, you're an intimidating guy. The name's a little
Damn.
intimidating too. I mean, just have to say it out there. But so how often do people butcher your name at these things? I assume you've heard Nchukwi and show. I mean, you've heard it all. How bad does it get for you from that standpoint?
As bad as in people butchering my name. My name has been butchered throughout my whole career till I got to the UFC. They finally kind of got the actual pronunciation right because they were very thorough with everything. Like even before I leave, sometimes they will ask me how to pronounce it and all that. But even throughout my whole career, I've been used to people butchering the heck out of my name. Like I've gotten so many different ranges. Sometimes I'll give them the name. They'll come to me and actually try to be nice, ask me, man, how do you say this? I'll give them a good like explanation, and they go out there with the most confidence I've ever seen and just butcher it. And I just be like, oh, dang. Sometimes there comes a time when I'm in the ring, I'm ready to be introduced. I'm just waiting and just trying to see how badly they're gonna mess up my name. And but then when I got into UFC, I was like, oh, okay, cool. They actually got it down finally. This is cool.
Well, with the UFC, they have the master John Anik, who he makes it a point,
Mhm.
so he's gonna ask you, and he's gonna figure out how to say it. Like if
Yeah,
John Anik said it right, like okay, you say it just like how John said it.
yeah. I've noticed now. Even after that, now a lot of people have been kind of catching my name pretty well too, because it's on there now. I mean, if you you can go hit that replay button and actually hear it if you actually care to know how to say it. So that's pretty cool.
What's the worst one you've heard where like for a second? 'Cause I know you're in the fight and everything, you have to stay
Uh-huh.
concentrated. But what's the worst you've heard where for a second you started like, what? What did you just say?
I think it's one of the. I think it was my amateur fight. It was a Muay Thai fight in New York. I think it was ECF. The guy said Nchukwi. It didn't sound nothing like it. It's so bad that I can't even like recall it. But even to this day, like my teammates still make fun of me because of how bad and confident he sounded when he
Yeah.
said my name. He's like he he just took the name and ran with it. He was like, I'm gonna make this thing my own. I'm gonna come up in here. And it's like he would come up for a performance and he butchered it. But to him, he killed it. So that would be
Yeah.
the one I would say. Yeah. At least he got the end. The rest of it just, I don't know.
Yeah, but the end is silent, isn't it? So wouldn't
It
that just
is.
make it?
It
So
is.
it makes it even worse. Like I
Yes, it
mean,
makes. But he felt so bad. I was proud of him for how confident how well he took it. He was very proud of what he did. So hey, it's all good. He was enjoying his job.
exactly. How did you come up with your nickname? Because obviously it flows super well with your first name and everything. How do you come
Hmm
up with something like that?
Yeah, it's like I said, well, like you said, how it flows with my name. Because every time I tell people my name, they just go straight to Teflon Don, and then eventually it just kind of morphed into Teflon the Don, and yeah, that's how everything came about, really.
But so the good news is you didn't give yourself that nickname. This because I feel like in the MMA community, it's very important that you didn't come up with your own nickname.
Oh no, let's not say that. I kind of forced it. I ain't gonna lie. I can't. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you, my guy. I kind of forced it into that because once everybody kept saying, I was like, you know what, this is kind of flowing pretty well. All right, cool. One time I had that opportunity, because the amateur coming up amateur, the coaches always put your nicknames that they always have for you.
Yeah.
I saw my opportunity, amateur career. They messed up and they gave me that paper. I was like, all right, cool. Should I put what I know people want to call me, or should I just go ahead and shoot my shot? And I wrote it down. Tafon the Don. This is about to be some fire right here. Boom. He said that thing and it stuck.
I mean, at least it's a good origin story. Like some people, it's like there's a million pit bulls out there, and it's like why?
Yeah.
Because I like the dog. It's scary. Like at least yours, like it flows. I mean, there's a little bit of a story behind
Hmm
it. You have some sort of
Yeah.
credit to it.
Yeah, I forced it. Made it happen. I know people keep saying me not supposed to give your own nickname, but hey, that thing was too good to let go.
Yeah, exactly. And if they don't want you to keep it, like what are they going to do about it? To be
Hey,
completely fair.
yeah, it's here now. I mean, at this point, it's too late. I've
Exactly.
already gone this far with it.
And plus, you're verified on social media too, where that's your social media name. So I feel like
You
that
know,
made it official. You can't mess with that check
yeah,
mark.
got that blue check mark right there, man. You can't be messing with the blue check mark. If Instagram verified, it's real. They put a check
Exactly.
on it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Someday. I'm looking on at all my colleagues getting the blue check mark, and you try to, man, I don't care, but low key though, a little bit jealous. Got to get there at some point.
Yeah, true. I mean, like when I got it, like the only thing that I really cared so about it was just to show to show off with my teammates about it. Then after that, it was like, okay. But they
Yeah.
did tell me it's a lot you can do with it, but I haven't really like kind of taken advantage of all the things I can do with it because I just wanted to show off with my teammates once I got it. That's why I did a whole video thing about it, just trolling them on on Instagram. After I got it, I was like, yeah, man, it was pretty fun.
You do have a YouTube channel now that you mention it, man. What's going on with this thing? Like, are you the next YouTube boxer that we can expect to see out there? What's the plan with the channel?
Oh my, hey, let me tell you something. If my YouTube blows up like these YouTubers and I'm able to do things like they're doing, hey, you best believe I'm gonna do everything I can to make it happen. Hey, I mean, at this point, I feel like it's kind of too late to try to get into the YouTube wave. But hey, I'm just the way I'm thinking about it now is I'm gonna just keep dropping stuff, and then if people take to it, they take to it. If they don't, it is what it is. I'm just gonna get on there, do what I feel like doing, be myself, and yeah, that's about it. Just enjoying the process.
Exactly, man. Well, I feel like that's the way to go too. Like as a fighter, you have to use all your tools on social media, and I feel like for that one, it gives fans like a good look behind the curtain too, as to who you are when you're not in the cage beating people up.
That is true. Yeah, exactly. That's a pretty good platform to use to show more of yourself and all that, which is not what I'm trying to use it for. Really get people into the life of the training, and then also, I think more so what I do. Well, more what I'm gonna start dropping more is more what I do away from training, which is not really much. I realize I don't have a life. I just train, go home, sleep, eat, and repeat. And so I've been doing it for so long now. It's like my teammate Sadiq has always said, man. Like when you get a little break, you start to realize, man, you don't really have a life like that. Because when it comes to this, man, you got to be all in. So it's not really much out there after that.
But at least you are all in, so we have to give you credit there, right?
Exactly. All the way in, man. I mean, I know for sure I'm gonna have time for all this other stuff after I'm finished. But right now, as I'm still young and learning, gotta put everything I have into this. It's
For
not
sure,
something
man.
you can be one leg in, one leg out. You will get messed up.
All right, man. So one last question for you. I know it's super far on stuff, but this is kind of how I end the interview. So, and you're gonna get asked a million times. I got to get there first. But how do you see
Mhm.
yourself getting your hand raised against Mike Rodriguez?
Hey, man, being this weight class, I'm seeing myself going in there, especially like I told you before. This is gonna be a camp where I'm gonna be more so focused on development and just focusing on my skill instead of losing weight. So I feel like this is gonna be a banger, man. I'm going in there to leave everything in there for this one. Hey, so it's gonna be an all for nothing joint. That first round, I'm trying to get that first round finished. But if not, like we said, hey, we still in there, hanging in there. We still gonna get that win, regardless.
All right, there we go. We look forward to it. It's a great fight. I know I'll put out the fire emojis when it got announced on Twitter because it's exciting. Thanks so much for the time, man. I really appreciate it.
Oh yeah, man. Thanks for having me on again, man.